Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Guys, the big leaks that we talked about in yesterday's video are here, and it's wild that we're getting a pack of this level all ready to start FC26. The first Hero Pack SBC has been leaked, and we have to talk all about it. Should we invest in fodder for this? Should we be buying the heroes that are dropping in price because of this? We're going to cover it all today, and there's more than one hero leak that we have to discuss, which is just crazy. Plus, the gauntlet is out, and of course, it's another objective that is bugged. We'll talk about how kudos has been given to people who didn't complete the objective truly to get him unlocked. We'll talk about that mistake there. And the craziest pump and dump that I've ever seen has just taken place on this market with the most hype card right now in FC26. It was wild. Guys, we're going to talk about it all today. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, let's start the conversation today by looking back at yesterday's Monday content where we had two SBCs and the gauntlet. That was about it. But first, at SBCs, the new 77 double upgrade pack is unlimited repeatable, and that's the biggest change from last week's 77 plus times 2. It is still 6 rare golds, 1 common gold that you have to turn into this. I'm just trying not to do too many of these and absolutely destroy my club of golds and rare golds, because I still feel like some of these challenge SBCs that we get, especially if they're tradable packs, end up being sometimes a better place to put those cards in instead of just turning them in for a 77 double. But I have seen plenty of people tweeting me some very good polls from this pack. So maybe try a couple, see what you get, and then don't go too crazy if you're kind of running out of players in the club. The other SBC we had yesterday was Nico Paz, and I was looking forward to this SBC, guys. I really was, but there are some stats that this card is lacking. Now, he could be good for the gauntlet, and it is kind of a fun up-and-coming young player in the Serie A. He's 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot, center mid and cam positions, but there's some glaring stats here that have some problems. The 70 balance, the 73 reactions, and 73 shot power. If you're going to play this guy as a center attacking mid, he's going to be able to pass great. He's got 89 short pass, 87 long pass, and 85 vision, 89 ball control and dribbling. It's just, man, the reactions, composure, the shot power stat, the balance too. You need a big-time chem style to boost those up. And if this is a fun card that you want to use for a Serie A team, do not let me steer you away. Use the fun cards. The playstyles on this guy look great. Finesse, incisive, tech, dead ball, and inventive. But with the hero pack that is upcoming, with the Goretzka that is out, I kind of just feel like saving my fodder at the moment and kind of using it right in the right moment and not just putting it on a card that will be good for my gauntlet team, but maybe not good enough for anything else. Now, he's not that expensive. He's just 4 squads and 33,000 coins to complete. So it's not a terrible value SBC. And again, if you have Serie A links in one of your gauntlet squads that we're going to be using this week, it could be worth it for you. I just don't know if it's worth it for me with those stats that he is kind of missing there. Now, let's talk about the gauntlet, right? This is what we were looking forward to. The rewards are decent, and just the idea, it's fun. I don't know. I really enjoyed this yesterday, and I didn't even get kudos. I didn't win 3 games. Guys, this once again is a 1 entry per day gauntlet mode where you get 3 games regardless whether you win the first, lose the first. Everybody plays 3 games. The matchmaking seems pretty open. I actually kind of like how it shows you who you played here. It shows the gamer tag, the result of the game, and then the next entry you have and when it refreshes. That's kind of cool. I won my first game, lost the second game. I was up 3-1. I should have won it. I didn't play good possession-based football in the second half, and I let the ball go and lost 4-3, and then in the third game won 4-1, but I did not get kudos, of course, because I didn't win all 3 games. However, enter another objective glitch. Guys, another day, another bug, glitch, whatever you want to call it on this game. A lot of people, even look in my objectives here, the perfect round objective that unlocks kudos in a Cornerstones Evolution, which I believe is a cosmetic card. It shows as completed for me, except for the check mark. It's 1 of 1, it's turned green, and it says 1 of 1 here. But I actually did not get the card. Now, there was a lot of people on Twitter that were getting kudos for just winning 2 games. So once again, this was bugged yesterday. It still could be right now. I'm not entirely sure if it still is, but winning 3 matches in one day is probably the most difficult part to this objective. The rest of it is really easy. Win 3 games in total, win 5 games in total for an attacking wingback plus, win 6 games for an 84/2 and an 85+ pack guaranteed for winning the whole thing. People who go 3 for 3 yesterday on Monday and today on Tuesday are going to get this entire objective done in just 2 days, but we have 4 days to do it. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to play 3 games each day. So 12 possible games. You need to win 6. Again, the matchmaking does seem pretty random. I felt like I had pretty consistent matches yesterday with people around my skill level, a little bit below maybe in the first game, but that second game we were good head to head. That was a good game. But also some people match players that are above their skill rating, it seems, as well. So that's the interesting thing with this, and I'm glad that we have multiple days to play it because it feels somewhat competitive, but it also feels fun, man, using the 3 different squads. I really enjoyed that yesterday. I think it's just, again, a breath of fresh air, and it's really interesting to see as well when your cards get locked. That's kind of the craziest thing to see because they all have these little red dots in the top left. And even if you're playing against somebody who was locked for you in a previous game, like I used Embuemo, right? In my first game, I played somebody in my second game who scored with him and his card popped up and it had the little red thing there because he's locked for my club. I found that really interesting, and it was just fun. Again, a nice breath of fresh air for building different teams and being forced to use different players. I'm excited to see how that mode kind of moves on throughout the year, and I do believe that those rewards are nice and fun there. So far, a nice start. I will give you guys a tip on building out these squads. Maybe instead of having a full bench of usable subs, just have like 3 or 4 and then use silvers or bronzes cards you're not going to ever use in this tournament for the rest of the bench. That way you can maybe use some of those players in your second and in your third squads. I know a lot of people ran into problems yesterday because they didn't kind of segment their squads out. So maybe for today, do that little bit of extra work and look at those cards. Now, of course, we talked about investing in some of these cheaper cards, budget beasts, right? That would have been perfect for this gauntlet mode. The market did not really do too well yesterday. This was an experimental investment because, of course, we were like, well, this is the first time Gauntlet's happening. We'll see how the market really reacts. And, well, the Hero Pack leak probably did not help this. Guys, Barcola was rising into the day and then kind of just fell towards content. After content, he fell even further right now. He's about 5.2K. He's down even more. Kind of Tomori, the same thing. But, I mean, there were good investments that you could have made. It would just had to have been the right card. Like Lorient here, the Syria left wing. He went from 1,400 coins, rising all the way through the day as Gauntlet started. Now he's 2.2K. There was also a couple of goalkeepers as well. I think maybe Nick Pope and a couple of other cards rose up decently as people were buying a few cards here or there to fill out some of these teams. But it's not like the whole kind of lower tier part of the market really ended up doing good like we were hoping that it would. So that's kind of one thing to watch out for. With those cards today, there will still be a little bit of demand, but people probably have their teams figured out right now in terms of what they want to use. So I wouldn't expect a lot more movements on those cards. And if you did invest in those and you want to take the coins with the state of the market now, I'm kind of feeling a little leery about prices as we're going to talk about today, just because of all the leaks. Maybe it's time to get out of those and move on to the next investment. Now, speaking of glitched and bug objectives, the whole path to pro, diving in and venturing out objective groups, right? That's the objective that gives the 86+ team of the week player pick. EA is starting to contact people in game with their rewards. They said they did the first wave of things. The initial group of players has been contacted. And my Path to Pro player pick came in, and I actually got this card that this guy's tweeting right below 81 rated Gabby Vega in my 86+ Team League player pick there. So keep a close eye on your objectives if you're waiting for that, because hopefully those, I guess it's called compensation, I guess, but those rewards that you deserved are now being given out after that objective glitch is being cleared up. Took them long enough. Now, let's look at the big news, guys. The Hero Pack leak. We were waiting for the big Bombazo leak, right? We talked about it yesterday. Foot Police and his leaks and all the Bombazos on that. Well, we didn't get the full answer because he said there's more, but this was part of it. The Max 86 base hero pack has been added to the code, and this started all of the madness yesterday of all the tweets and all the speculation, the investing on the market, and also prices dropping on the market. Now, once again, right after this tweet came out, Foot Police said here that this is not everything. He said no more bombazos are waiting, but this is a big part of it. And this is early. He says pick here. He means pack. He clarified it down below in the comments of this tweet. This is really early. We mentioned it just a couple of days ago that last year, right around this time, we had a lone hero player pick, but that was a loan for a certain number of games. This is a true base hero card that we're going to be able to pack from this upgrade pack that is going to be dropping in the next couple of days. And honestly, if you look at a lot of these hero cards, it's max 86, so you're not going to have some of the players like Eden Hazard or Yaya Toure, but there's some really good cards in here, and every base hero has a playstyle plus. And when I look at my team right now, still, maybe like half of my team, not even half of my squad, has playstyle pluses. And this is going to be an opportunity to add a player with a playstyle plus into your starting 11. Now, this pack, we thought would maybe be around 100,000 coins, right? That's probably where this would be priced. We thought last year, it was a max 87 hero pack. It was over 100K, right around like 115, I think, 120,000 coins for this pack last year. But this year, I mean, look at the cards in here first, by the way. Ramirez, Matuidi, Alawaran, Govu, Barbo, Smolarek, and big pulls. Gervinho and Doumbia will be up here as well, but they're extinct. Those are 300 and 500,000 coins, extinct cards. Even this row, Junberg, Captivia. I packed Captivia, I think 2 years ago at the beginning of FC24 when a hero pack came out like this, and he was a card that was in my team for months. Guti with the Incisive would be awesome. Ledley King with the Anticipates as center back would be sick. Even a card like DeMarcus Beasley with Rapid Plus and 91 pace. Carragher would be usable. Dudek would be usable. Aljaber with Finesse would be a usable card. And guys, the price of this SBC that has been leaked is the craziest part, and that's why people are starting to invest in fodder as well. Foot Police responded. This is, again, the leaker who knows probably what this SBC is going to cost because he's had a lot of the SBC prices spot on recently when he's been leaking them. He responded to Weil here on Twitter, and he was asking, how much would you pay for this SBC? He said 60K. That is incredibly cheap. When it comes to SBCs like this, if you guys have not played Ultimate Team before, a lot of times what EA do is they look at, okay, the players that are possible to pack from this SBC. Let's, price the SBC right smack dab in the middle so that half the people or most of the people that pack an L, they pack a card that is less than the value of the SBC, but a few people will get lucky and pack something above it, right? You have a lot of cards in here that are around 100,000 coins. That's where I would expect this SBC to be priced. He says 60K. That is... I know this is a gamble SBC, and it's not a smart thing to do all the time. This is not setting a good precedent for how we should usually spend our SBC fodder, because usually for these SBCs, it's a waste, right? You open a pack like this, you get one player, you're gambling on something good, whereas if you went and did the Goretzka SBC for just about the same amount of coins, you're going to get a guaranteed card. But for 60K, it's kind of like, okay, maybe some tradable packs back as well from the individual segments of the SBC. It's like, this is going to be a very tempting SBC and pretty affordable too, if it does end up being 60K. Now, fodder has started to rise. If you take a look at 86s, they are actually almost 6,000 coins now, and they started the day yesterday right around 5K. You guys could see here that obviously there were some people getting some leaks, and as the leaks came out, these fodder prices went up even further. But if you do want to invest or stock your club with any fodder right now, what I would say to focus on, with the leak being where it is in terms of that price, 60, maybe 70,000 coins with fodder increasing, I think you want to look at 85s, 86s, and maybe 87s, because if it's going to be that cheap, I mean, we don't have a squad for Goretzka here that's higher than 85, and he's a 75,000 coin SBC. Maybe they would do an 86 rated squad and an 85 to get this up to that price. Maybe they would dabble with an 87 rating and then maybe like an 84. I don't know. It'll be somewhere in that 84 to 87 range. But fodder is probably just going to rise a little bit each day until this SBC comes out because of the price that it seems like it's going to be. Now, 88s are up in price as well. Do I really expect 88s to go up too much from this? Personally, no. I may use an 88 in a squad. If there's an 87 squad, then 88s would go up. But if it's just like an 85, 84, 85, 86 squad, then maybe not, right? These went from 9,000 coins up to 10K where they are now. I think is maybe a sell in the hype situation for those. And since we have a couple of days, we believe, until this SBC is going to come out, the leaked release date for this, guys, is Wednesday. That is what was said by some guys on Twitter. There were even some leakers coming into the Twitch chat yesterday saying that this was going to come out on Wednesday. There's going to be a lot of fodder investing happening up until that time frame, and there could honestly be a bit of overinvestment on this fodder. But if the SBC comes in at that cheap of a price, a lot of people are going to do it, and a lot of people are going to sell cards to go buy fodder to do this SBC, and that is going to hurt the market overall. Now, more on that in a second, but these hero cards, by the way, you saw we looked at that graph or this kind of spread here of these hero cards, and you see a lot of red. Ledley King down 6%. Bone Pastor is actually up. She was down even lower. A lot of these cards have started dropping, and that is because people are selling them because they're worried about people packing them from the player pack that is coming out. And this is a very big worry, especially for the lower tier cards here, like a Tim Howard, like a Dirk Kuyt, like a Peter Crouch. These are going to be the cards that are packed the most from this, and they're probably going to drop from this. However, the cards on the middle to the top tier that are not going to get packed as much, Smolarek, Robbie Keane, Ibarbo, Govu, Matuidi, these types of players, this is going to be a fantastic opportunity to make some coins, buying in the panic and selling later on when there is a bit of a rebound and a spike after people go and open this pack and they're like, oh man, I didn't pack Alowaran like I thought I was going to. Now I have to go buy him back for my team. That sort of fluctuation is very, very possible with this here. So we're going to watch content and the leaks very closely in the next 2 days to see when this is going to drop. Again, the projected date is Wednesday. If you need to buy some fodder, you can. I don't think fodders, let me answer this question. I know some of you guys are thinking, is it worth it to buy fodder? Man, these cards are already up so much. I could see 86s going to like 6.5K. Maybe if the SBC comes out and it truly is 60K, maybe they spike, another little bit to like 7,000 coins. But you really got to try to get on bids for this and get an undercut to really do that. At this point, I think I would just buy fodder to stock in my club to do the SBC and not so much so to actually make an investment to really make a lot of coins off of this. However, this does look like it's going to be a very hype SBC and it's impacting a lot of the rest of the market. Now, before we talk about the rest of the market, there's another hero leak that is out there. And this one is tough to understand because this was tweeted by Foot Sheriff right after the pack was added to the code for the Max 86 hero pack. Foot Sheriff says, there's a 1 of 3 heroes pick that is added to come soon as an SBC. Should be 3 specific players, but I can't 100% confirm it. This leak to me is kind of like, what? Why even leak this? Because he does not know what's even going on. This one seems really wild. A lot of people right away thought that this would be for the hero vote that we had for the Bayern hero. Either Elbert, Pizarro, or Effenberg is going to be a hero card in FC 26, right? None of the new heroes are out right now because they're coming in Season 2. However, this is not going to be a player pick of those Bayern heroes because, as EA said, the heroes don't arrive until Season 2, and that includes the Bayern hero vote winner. So if that card is not going to be dropping until Season 2, they would not be in this player pick. So what is this player pick? And if it's 3 specific players, what is going on with this? I really do not understand what is going on with this. So we're still kind of waiting to see what this leak is. It's kind of confusing. I feel like for right now, we just kind of have to keep that in the back of our minds, wait for some more information and news, and realize that whatever EA is doing with heroes, they kind of got us ready for this with the super sick hero embellishment here. Like, if I do the hero pack, I'm putting this on my player. And I mean, not that this is going to really drive people to go and do the hero pack itself, but that little like right there, that's super sick, right? That is super sick, and it's only out for a couple more days, and it's repeatable twice. So there's connections here. There's connections with that, cosmetic evolution and these leaks that we're getting with heroes. Very interesting that we're starting these hero packs this early into the game. Now, we have talked a lot about the market without actually discussing how the market is reacting to this. That's what we need to do now. Guys, the market yesterday, as you can see by prices going up before and after content, this market is rising because in this index, the fodder players that are going up are pushing the index up. But if you take a closer look at a lot of the rest of the market, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing players like Brian and Bumo go from 25,000 coins all the way down to 22,000 thousand coins. You're seeing a lot of players, Alphonso Davies is another one that dropped off a good bid. He was, I think, 22 to 23,000 coins, and now it looks like on FUTBIN, he's 19K dropping in price. Like, that's a pretty big price drop for him. For a 20,000 coin card dropping that much. Due is down pretty big. You got some icons and obviously some of the heroes that are in here as well. And you've got a lot of attackers. Now, there's a specific reason why a lot of the attackers are down on the market, but with this hero pack being leaked, honestly, guys, I think we need to be more careful when it comes to the market for the next couple of days, because sure, there is weekend league that is upcoming this weekend, but I really don't feel like I can say to you guys, yep, go buy your weekend league teams right now, with kind of the impending fear and worry that there is on this market with the hero pack that is out there at the moment. So I'm still running a couple of quick flips right now. The market's been great for trading, for the trends. If you get in at the right time, it's all about timing with these cards, right? Like I just actually completed a trade here for Yates, made a couple thousand coins, trying to flip an icon, and also trying to flip Pedri, which we'll talk about Barca links in a second. Like, the market's still good for the grinding of the trades and stuff like that, but I don't think I would buy cards to hold on to them yet, just because it feels like the market could still drop some more. And a pack like this, as we mentioned, is going to drain coins off of the market. Once again, let me explain that. This pack SBC drops, people sell their teams or sell players from their teams to go buy fodder, to turn that tradable fodder and coins into this hero pack SBC, which gives them an untradeable player. That reduces the buying power of the market. That makes player prices drop even more, and I think there could be some more drops, maybe not crazy drops, but more drops happening throughout the week this week. Now, the biggest story with the market right now in this game is the most hyped player on this game right now, because of pros using this item in the pro ladder and everybody else finally being able to get their hands on Claudia Pina and her 86 rated item, which is just so OP in game. Now, I've not used this card yet personally, but a lot of people have. And this card had not one, but two crazy price rises yesterday. You could call them pump and dumps. The first one, a little bit. The second one, for sure. Guys, this card was extinct at 10K. It got a price range update yesterday, and a lot of people were buying here at 17,000 coins. She went all the way up to about 30 to 35K, and then she started getting listing down. If you were in the stream yesterday, we were saying buy this card at about 24, 25, 26,000 coins, and just a couple of hours ago, she had the craziest pump and dump I have ever seen. I wasn't even on and watching it. I didn't even end up buying any of these cards for myself, as we were playing games on stream and just kind of forgot about it, right? But I know some of you guys did. She went all the way up to 90,000 coins. It's like 70. She got pumped and dumped like crazy. This card yesterday was extinct at 10K and then went to 35, went back down to 25, and then went to 90. Here's a picture from Rick, who was watching it happen live on his stream. Another great trading stream to watch, Rick TH21. He was watching Claudia Pina go all the way up from 40K as she rose to 90,000 coins, and she sold on the market at 90,000 coins for a couple minutes and then got listed back down. Right now, she's 35K. Will this happen again? I know is what you're asking. Probably not. She could go back up a little bit. There's so much hype with this card, but just remember what happened with Dumornay and those players earlier on this year when they got super hyped. The hype like this only lasts for a little bit. Like, Dumornay had her crazy spike. Remember when she went over 100,000 coins and had the price range issues? She had her crazy spike, but she really hasn't had that level of hype since. So if you have a Claudia Pina, I understand that this card has a lot of hype right now, but I feel like we're probably at the max of the hype for this item, just because, like, she's an 86, so she doesn't get packed that often, but man, there is a lot of these cards on the market, and there are a lot of people that are trying to trade with her item. And whenever the next big thing comes out, maybe it's this hero pick, the new team in packs that is coming this week for Cornerstone's team 2. I do believe this is probably some of the peak for the hype for this card. So just be careful. If you got in below 25K and you want to use it for your team, I think you're safe. I think you're good. Even below 30K, you're probably good. But that's just crazy. And also, I got to mention this too, because I was feeling it a little bit myself. Don't feel like you missed out, or, you know, you feel bad because, like, man, I should have bought that card when I did. Like, stuff like that. Like, very few people actually time those pump and dumps correctly and get the coins and the profit out of that. The thing we have to say too is, when you have a pump and dump and a card goes that high in price, there's going to end up being a lot of people that are losing coins on that card way more than you will ever know because they won't talk about it. And more people are probably losing than there are people making coins in that scenario. So I wanted to mention that because don't feel bad about missing out or not buying that card, because that is a very rare and a very, very, very tough thing to time. You kind of have to be involved in the pump and dump, basically, is what it seems like, to make profit on those sort of items. Now, yesterday I was able to make some profit off of this situation because a lot of Barca links, especially the Liga F women's players for Barca links, are flying in prices. People buy Claudia Pina, they got to buy somebody else to link him in their team, right? Patrick Guijarro from 100K to 140,000 coins. Bonmati went up 100,000 coins. Araujo is up. Even Pedri's the one that I bought. I bought him for 128,000 coins with a shadow. I just sold him for 140 something K. Like that's a card that moved up really well yesterday as well because of the Barca links. Now I'm probably going to take the cash on that because I don't want to risk it and hold on to him anymore. But that's one thing to mention. And for the future, when there's a player that is very hyped from a non-top 5 league, but maybe the club is a good club, like maybe a women's Super League player from Chelsea gets hyped in the future, Chelsea players on the men's side could move in price as well when stuff like this happens. So that's kind of what's going on with the Claudia Pina and the Barca cards moving up. I'm going to be selling those and being mostly liquid in this market, apart from just a couple of icon flips that I'm doing at the moment. Now, really quickly, let's talk about content today on Tuesday. We should be getting another upgrade pack SBC. Remember, last Tuesday we had the 83 plus upgrade pack. It was repeatable just one time. I think it was an 81 squad. We should have another one of those coming today or something like this. Be nice to open one of those for, of course, the Cornerstones cards being in packs right now. The other thing I would expect would be maybe a small evolution. I've actually tried to create a couple of Evo chains on Footbin because I'm about to actually start, I think, an Evo chain with Hani Mukhtar. It's going to go through a couple of these different ones and get him boosted up and make him a super usable card to link to that Sam Surge item from objectives. But maybe a small Evo today. Watch out for the leaks with that. And then still player SBCs that are out there in the wild that we could see soon. We've got the Alyssa Thompson from Chelsea. We've got the Bowen. I think it's likely Bowen or Thompson will be released today. So just keep a close eye on that. And of course, it's Gauntlet Day too. Not expecting a whole lot, but that is there. Last thing I want to touch on really quickly at the end of the video here, I know it's getting a little long, is the opening bell pack. This was that pack that we were dubbing as the free packs that we were getting for the Cornerstones promo. I legit think that EA did not release the free packs on Friday or for the login rewards that we saw that pack code for because the way objectives have been glitched. I think they pulled this back and they paused it. And now this pack code kind of confirms that. Remember how we were supposed to get a 1 of 2 82 plus pick and a 1 rare gold player pack for that? They've combined those in this pack here. The opening bell pack that had 3 tradable premium gold players packs now has 3 rare gold items and 3 premium gold players packs, but it doesn't say tradable anymore. And once again, this pack, which we have not seen yet, we're still waiting on this, is a reward that you get for completing this Foundation's objective, which of course I have already done. I'm really loving this card in game, and I don't understand when or how this is going to drop in the game, but that pack code was updated yesterday, so it tells me EA is still trying to do something with that, but they haven't dropped it yet. So maybe that'll be a part of content today. We will have to see. But that's the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment down below if you're going to do the hero pack or not, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I will see you guys in a stream today. We'll be looking at all the leagues, watching the market, and playing Gauntlet Day 2, trying to unlock Kudus. Again, I love you guys. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great Tuesday. Peace out.